Okay, YouTube here with my first Polybridge 3 video. Just gonna be the first world, but also a public service announcement. These tutorials, you can press escape and skip tutorial. I know, already got what you came here for. So, this is just the first world. Some of these I've done a little of grinding for budget. It's not my 1% series, that'll be coming later. But we're just gonna go through world by world what I've got so far. I guess that is top 1%. Dangling Road's much harder in Polybridge 3, which is good. It means less people will do it. These bridges still work just fine, though. I kind of like these ones. I guess people are calling them banana bridges. You can even make the banana split bridge in this one, where it's kind of like skipping a segment here, where you'd connect the wood like that and not have these three supports and save a tiny bit of money. Doesn't always work. Drive on the rock, always a good strategy. The first world, I do think, of what I've seen of Polybridge 3, at this point I have finished the campaign but haven't been uploading anything to YouTube yet. I do think that the average difficulty of the levels is easier, but only because there's more levels. So there's still going to be hard levels at the very end, but you do kind of get the feeling when you get through like 5, 6, 7 worlds, it's like, okay, it's not hard yet. But it'll get there. It does get there at the end. Yep. Ah, yes. They have a lot of funky shapes in this game, something they started doing with the weekly levels in Polybridge 2, but not when Polybridge 2 first came out. They like their custom shapes. It does mean we get a lot of levels like this, where you have to make it fall correctly. He sort of skids along and then lands right here for grinding for budget, and this is what, 36th? So a bunch of people did even better than that. Ah. This one's the first, bridge-looking thing. The first level where I haven't done any grinding for budget yet, so it looks like a bridge. Shame on me. Something that looks like a bridge. Go under the boat, or in this case, the plane. They have a very slow introduction to hydraulics in this game. They also have some new mechanics where there will be things pre-built on the level that you can't change. I think that's pretty neat. Go over the boat. Of course, we're doing a jump. Then almost falling off the edge. Ah, another one. We have the tiny bit of road to help us land properly. It sort of donks us forward, and then we can get across. It looks like a bridge. Crazy. This guy does like, look at the front wheelie. He's going along. Wheelie. Crazy. I've seen a lot, like this car shows up on a few levels, and he has a tendency to just roll forwards. And you know what? Why not? Bonus world. These first two worlds are both tutorial. Let's do bonus world. There will be a hydraulic tutorial, and we'll skip that one. Do I have a proper looking solution? Hey, lowest stress. It also saves that, so here's a lowest stress. We can save the jump for when I do a top 1% series. I might do a top 1% for stress also. We'll see. That might be fun. Top 1% for budget and top 1% for stress. The stress leaderboards are definitely a bit less competitive. Like, even without trying to go for stress at all, I guess I'm not doing great there. But there are definitely some where grinding the stress leaderboards, you get like 20% less stress than second place. Ah, here's a level where these roads, you can't delete them. Those 4 are just there. So essentially this is a jump level, but your job is just provide supports to the roads. It's a neat one. I do kind of like it. They make some interesting levels with it, especially there's one like hydraulic level where the hydraulic's off in the middle of nowhere. You have to figure out how to connect it over to what you need it to do. Another jump. If you've watched my Polybridge 2 content, you know I'm not the biggest fan of jumps. But it is what it is. A road bump. I like them. Nice and cheap. That could be a little cheaper there. God, this design isn't even top 200. People are crazy. Yeah, there's not terribly much commentary to give on these first 2 worlds. They are both the tutorial worlds, and then the game stays a bit easy. Skip tutorial. So this one, this whole right side of the bridge, we can't delete. Literally, the game's just like, here's a way to do hydraulics. And if you want to, you can just copy, and then press flip, hotkeys F, and then paste it, and just press play. And it'll work. But I've got a bridge that's a bit less expensive. And the stuff that's pre-built doesn't cost any money. You get it for free. It might be a funny one on this level to try to not use this hydraulic and not do any sort of counterweight, just have one of these hydraulics operating your bridge over here. That might be a funny one. The no hydraulic challenge for this game is going to have some hard levels. That's for sure. Oh look, we're going over the boats. You can see there's one coming towards us, one going away, and they added waves. There's a very big visual update from Polybridge 2. And then for some reason we're waiting for these planes, just in case you built all the way up there. Not sure how you would manage that one. Car, hydraulic, boat, hydraulic, car goes back? No, we just go over the boat. And yeah, that you saw that little bit of a front wheelie. This car has a big tendency to do the front wheelie. I love the little hop. Though the bridge doesn't always love it. Alright, which one? Are we still in the second world? Okay, we got 2 levels left. So here's the new material, foundation. You get to just place a static joint, and it's $15,000 plus an extra. It actually tells you $900 per meter. It tells you the price of everything. Steel is $450 per meter. So it's very expensive. But some of the levels, like trying to do this as just a full bridge without any foundation. I might have that. Yeah, I've got this one. I might do a no foundation challenge. That could be fun. It's not available on a ton of levels, but there are definitely a few. Like, there's one level where you have one static joint and one foundation and have to, like, build between some boats. So if you didn't have the foundation, you got to get creative with how you're balancing the bridge. No foundation could be a neat one. Okay. And last level, we get a lowest stress where I have a foundation in the middle, and a lowest budget where the foundation's gone and like a little bit of steel changed, and there's some roads over here. That's because they slow these guys down so that we don't have them all on the bridge at once. Well, here's our first Polybridge 3 video, the first 2 worlds. I might end up doing more than one world per video for just running through my first basic solutions, just because there's a lot of worlds. Like 2 tutorial world. They have difficulties, actually. It's difficulty 1 sheep, 2 sheep, I don't know why they chose sheep, 3, 4, and then this is the secret world that doesn't unlock till you get all the levels completed, and I think you have to be under budget and maybe unbreaking also for the rest of the worlds. Then you get the secret world, which is 5 sheep difficulty. Alright, peace.